So in this video, I will show you how I will be setting up my home studio. This is going to be a very basic setup, so you can definitely follow along. Plus, I will be using materials or things that can easily be accessible at home or in your office. The first step when setting up your studio is finding the best lighting. Lighting is the main ingredient when creating a photo. When there is no lighting, there is no photograph. Imagine if I close this curtain or if I close this window and I close all the lighting in this house, it will be just pitch black. But with light, you can see me. Somehow I look like a three-dimensional image to you, and that is because of shadows and the effect of light. So that is why it's very important in your product photo shoot. It's like in bread, when there's no flour, there is no bread. In music, when there's no rhythm, there's no music. I would love to give more cheesy examples, but you get the point. So without lighting, there's no photo. This is our guest room that we turn into a studio and into an office. So this is a multi-purpose room. And this is that room wherein we have this nice window and I can get lighting from outside. My next step is to set up the base for my photo shoot. As promised, I wanted to give you as many examples as I can. So I will be showing you how I will set it up using a chair and a table. So let's start with a chair. In my case, I don't have a flat surface, so I will be using an additional material to make a flat surface. So this is how it looks like. I need to position this chair in this area because if I move it just a little bit closer to the window, I am getting some shadows in my setup. And we don't want that. So I'm putting it right here. So I'm finding the best spot wherein I don't get shadows and I get the most balanced lighting from my window. And for me, this is that spot. Okay. So we have our chair, we have our base. Next is our background or our backdrop. This is a poster paper that I got from a bookstore. So how much is this? This is less than $1. This is just 19 peso. So it's very cheap, but I love that it's thick and it has a sturdy texture. So this is going to be our background and our backdrop. So we are creating a sweep. That means we are creating a seamless background. All right, next I have this tape. So this is pretty much sturdy, but I wanted to support it. And then adding tape at the bottom to support this part. And that is it. We already have our background, we have our base, and we have a seamless backdrop, which is very flattering when it comes to product photos that you will be uploading on e-commerce website, wherein you have this nice white background without any distraction and you're just focused on your product. So now that we have our light source, we have our setup here, we have a base, we have our background. So next, our camera, which is the iPhone. For our product photo shoot, I will be using an iPhone 11 Pro Max. So we have those 3 cameras at the back. If you will be using an earlier version of iPhone, that's totally fine. These photos are taken using an iPhone 8. You may need to purchase an additional lens just to get rid of distortion, but you can still capture great product photos using those phones. You can definitely start with that. But if you have iPhone 11, 12, 13, and so on, it's going to be better because we have the telephoto or what I call the macro lens, which is best when shooting product photos, especially products that are smaller in size. Now, when shooting using your phone, you might want to use a tripod. so that something is holding your camera, and to avoid camera shakes, you can also use this. This is a cheaper one. You can also use this as a selfie stick. I'm just showing you this to encourage you that you can start with a very basic materials with things that are most accessible to you, affordable ones. So this is a multi-purpose tripod that I also use with my DSLR. Now, to be able to use my iPhone with it, I just got this extra adapter for smartphones. But this quick release plate, it came with a tripod. So what I'll do is just connect this adapter to the quick release plate. So I'll be just using this. Okay, making sure it's tight. Now that's done, you can now put your iPhone. So here. So now that you have your quick release plate, you have your adapter, and you have your phone, you can now put it in your, or I can now put it in my tripod. I can just slide it in and then use this to lock it. And I now have my iPhone all set up, and I can now do whatever I want on my setup here. Alright, so now that we have our iPhone properly set up on a tripod, it's now time to take some test shot of our product. So let's start with our sunblock here. I have a habit of doing a test shot before going all in into a photo session, so I can address exposure and lighting issues right away. I find it helpful and efficient instead of going into the whole photo shoot and finding out my mistakes 30 photos later. Next, for bigger products, you may want to use a table like this instead of a chair. For this setup, I am using a T-stand to hold this PVC material dual-sided backdrop. These clamps came with a T-stand. And same with the chair, I am using tapes to secure the backdrop. And this is my upgraded setup using a table. Perfect for shooting bigger products. In the next lesson, I will share some more lighting tips and techniques. See you there!